If you're wondering about what things to negotiate and things to look out for in a residential power purchase agreement, you're in the right place. So this is day 2. Yesterday I went over about 20 minutes of this, and now you can look over my shoulder as I do a little more of this residential purchase power agreement that was put together by SAPC, which is a group of about 200 different people involved in the solar industry. So I am an attorney with 25 years of experience in finance and energy, and you can look over my shoulder as I go through this. So this is not legal advice. I'm not your lawyer. I'm a lawyer, but not your lawyer. And I'm just going through this and letting you watch how I would look at this if I was thinking of putting solar on my roof. And what you would do is watch this video, think about things, and when you get one of these, you can talk it over with your lawyer and your accountant and things like that. So this is for informational purposes, not to be relied on as legal advice. And let's get going. So yesterday we went over part 1 and the warranty, and now we're going to look at a few other things that I highlighted in red. So this says the term begins on the interconnection date, and the interconnection date is the date that the system is turned on. So why is that important? Because in some places like Massachusetts, it might take you 6 or 8 months to get approval. So, even if this is installed, it might take a long time to get turned on, and you definitely don't want to start paying until it's turned on. So that's something that you should be aware of in your contract. When does the contract start? Now the power price. So this is obviously something that they're going to write into your contract, and that's why it's left blank here. And it's the price per kilowatt hour, and it'll increase by X% the previous every subsequent year. And the reason that's important is you know what you are paying for power now, and generally the power company raises your rates a little bit each year. So you want to see how much of a discount you're getting by locking into this long-term contract and allowing them to put solar on your roof. And you want to be very conscious of the increase per year, because many of them will put 2% or more increase per year. And generally the power company might raise your rates 1% or 1.2% a year. So even if you're getting a discount now, after a few years you might be paying far more than you would be paying for the electricity you buy from your legacy provider. And if this is a long contract, 20 years in some cases, you want to be aware of that. So that's something that you should be aware of, and it's something that you can negotiate. So this talks about prepayments, and if you pay a bunch up front and they're contracted to give you a certain amount of power, but that's usually not the case for residential customers. So the estimated production. So when they install this, they're going to give you software, and it's connected to your internet, and it will monitor how much electricity is being produced and you're using, and based on that, they're going to charge you a certain amount. If for some reason the software is not working or you're not connected to the internet, they're going to estimate how much power you're using, and then at some point, just like with a meter, they're going to get an accurate reading and either give you a credit or pay you up from there. And here, as I said, they're warranting that they're not warranting that you're going to get any kind of savings, and that relates to this portion here. As I said, many people will sign in and get a slightly lower price, and it keeps going up, and at some point you're paying more than you would be paying otherwise, and there's no guarantee that you will be paying less than what the utility is charging. So just be aware of that. And as I said in the first video, power purchase agreements are usually something that I would not want if I was a residential customer. I think you're better off buying the panels yourself or leasing, but we're going through this agreement, and then I'll try to do the other ones. So here are the company's obligation that's going to put the panels on your roof and sell you the electricity at an agreed upon price. So you have to, under this agreement, only have system repaired pursuant to the limited warranty and reasonably cooperate when repairs are made. So what does that mean? If your electric panels are not working and they don't come out in a timely manner, and you try to have somebody else come fix it, that's not okay. They want to be the ones to repair their system, and you have to cooperate when it's being made. So you have to give them access to your roof, you have to give them access to your garage if the inverter's there, things like that. So sort of what you would expect. This is interesting. So it says you're going to use your system primarily for personal, family, or household purposes, but not to heat a swimming pool. So you can use it to heat your water heater, but you can't use it for a swimming pool. And why is that? Because you are entitled to a credit, or they are entitled to a credit because they own the system. And the credit, which is up to 30% on these residential installations, the equipment has to be used for residential purposes, which would be, the electricity for your stove, for your laptop. It can be used for heating and cooling, and it can be used for a hot water heater, but it can't be used for a swimming pool. So if it is used for a swimming pool, it's not eligible for that tax credit. So that's why they put this clause here that says it's for household purposes, but not a swimming pool. So you can't use it for that, because that cause a recapture of the tax credit and make the whole thing unattractive. So they make you agree that you won't use it for that. This part here, if you make any renovations or repairs to your property, you can only have the system removed and replaced pursuant to the warranty. Why is that important? If you have a new roof, it's probably not a big deal, but if you put a solar system on a roof that's older and your roof needs to be replaced, and they have their panels on there, what happens? If you take the equipment off to fix your roof and put it back, it might damage the system. So they only want you to have the equipment taken on and off by their people according to their warranty, and if not, you're going to be liable. And so that's something to consider, the age of the roof when you put this on your house. So late fees and taxes, that's pretty common. I'm not going to go over that. Taxes, I'm not going to go over that. Alterations. So this says you agree that you will not make any modifications, improvements, revisions to the system, or take any other action that would void the limited warranty without prior consent, without checking with them. And if you make any modifications, improvements, revisions, they will become part of the system and will be the property of the person that put the PPA in place and those panels on your roof. So this is something that you should pay very close attention to, because a lot of people installed solar on their roof but did not put a battery. And eventually they found out that in a power outage, you do not have electricity if you are connected to the grid just because you have solar panels. You would need a battery to have operating power when the grid is down and your solar panels are working. And why is that? If the line goes down, a power line, and the power company sends repair crews to fix those lines, they shut off the power. And if you are selling electricity to the grid, sending power through, even if they cut off the power on your end, if you're sending electricity through on their end, from your end, it could harm the workers that are trying to connect that line. So if you have panels and you don't have a battery, when the city loses power, you lose power too, unless you have a battery. And if you have a battery, when the power line goes down, you can still have power because it's working off the battery. And also in some states now that have a lot of solar, like in California, they pay you a different amount during certain times of the day. So at noon, when everybody else's solar panels are on and so is yours, you might actually get zero. And so if you have a battery, you can charge up your battery during the day. And then when there are peak rates, like at 6 p.m., you can sell that back to the utility company at a higher rate. However, under this clause, which says no alterations, and if you make any modifications or improvements to the system, it becomes part of the system and the person who owns the panels will own it. You could spend thousands of dollars on a battery and backup, and if you do that, they will own that. So many people who got the solar panels installed but did not get a battery, and then you go ahead and put a new battery on, now they would own that according to this clause. So it's something that you would want to think about and negotiate if you were signing something like this. Another thing here, this says that you agree that the system is a fixture, but they have a right to file a UCC1, and that might not mean anything to you, but when you sell your house, there's things that are fixtures and things that are not, and things that are fixtures belong to the buyer of the house, and you can't take it with you. And so if this was considered a fixture, it would be the property of the person that bought the house and not the person who installed it and owns this PPA agreement. And so that would cause a confusion because you have one person who put this on your roof and they say they own it, and then you sold it the house and the homeowner thinks they own it because it's a fixture, it's attached to your house. And so this clause just says, no, actually it's not a fixture. It's governed by this PPA and it's owned by this person who installed it. And UCC1 is not something that you need to concern yourself about, but it is something called a secured instrument. So if somebody goes through bankruptcy and a UCC1, you are something called a secured creditor. So if you go bankrupt or anything like that, and they sell your house off and they sell off all your furniture and your clothes and everything like that, they will search and find this UCC1 statement regarding the solar panels, and they will see we actually can't sell that because somebody else owns it. So it's just putting people on notice about who owns the panels. And then this indemnity provision is pretty common in lots of contracts, and that you will indemnify, defend, protect, hold harmless the company against third-party claimers for your negligence and willful misconduct. And what does that mean? So if something happens and somebody gets injured on your home, you let someone climb up on your roof because the kids had a baseball up there and then they get injured, and then they sue you and they want to sue the power company. You have to help them defend that claim because of this clause here. And if they do have to pay out, they are going to look to recover from you or from your homeowner's insurance because you have this indemnification clause here, which is pretty common. And you can always try to negotiate anything, but I doubt you'll get very far with this. So I think that's all we'll do for today, and I'll try to do another one tomorrow. And once again, this is the SAPC Residential Purchase Power Agreement, and I'm going to let you look over my shoulder as I review this over several days and just give you some ideas of what to look out for and make sure that your contract matches up with what you should see. And if you see something different, it'll be a red flag and let you know what effect certain clauses have on certain other things that you may want to consider and negotiate with your installer before you put this on your roof. So again, not legal advice, just for informational purposes only, and I'm not your lawyer, so check with your own lawyer, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.